Hello, what is up everybody? It is Cook the Fanatic, and today on July 19th, Tennocon 2025 happened, and we got all kinds of new information, and the information I'm actually interested in myself is some of the future story things that will be going on, and it's going to be released in like late 2025, early 2026. Story stuff will be released, and it's called The New Piece is the next major story expansion. This is super duper exciting to me because it's going to be the first ever look of the Tau system, and we're going to be seeing the Tau system through reliving memories that the Lotus has, is what it appears to be from the demo trailer they showed us, and it looks absolutely awesome. We're on some sort of planet, and Tau is intro to the trailer, and we'll get into everything they discussed about the new story and some theories I have and my thoughts on it. So if you're interested in that, please listen to this video. I would really appreciate it. But first, let's start from where the trailer started. You kind of start off in a moon-like area. It kind of looks like Luau, and you're actually fighting a giant sentient. It turns out the giant sentient you're fighting is actually your friend, and Excalibur Prime was one fighting the sentient, and it's a Tenno and a sentient that are both friends, which is an unnatural dynamic that we've never seen before in the game. We've never seen a Tenno and a sentient really be friends before. It's a very strange thing going on, and that's because soon after that we travel to a school sort of area. In this school sort of area, there's a giant projection of Ballas that's talking about the peace treaty that was signed between the Sentients and the Orokin Empire. So this new DLC, the new piece, takes place after the old war, which makes sense with the names. Now you have the old war. The next section of the story will be called the new piece. And the new piece here has the Orokin and the Sentients working together to kind of colonize the Tau system, it looks like, which is something we've never even heard of before. I mean, who thought that there was a peaceful time between between the Orokin and Sentients after the old war? I never thought they made peace. I thought they just kind of beat the Sentients back into the Tau system, and then the Sentients and the Orokin just kind of ignored each other up until the events of the new war. I had no clue that after the peace treaty was signed between the Orokin and the Sentients, that they actually began collaborating once again and exploring the Tau system together and developing it with the help of the Orokin. I did not know that, and that's a huge piece of lore, absolutely massive, that I might make a whole separate video about, talking about how that may have happened and all these crazy things. But basically what I'm getting at is that the Orokin and Sentients are cool, and they are working together in this tidbit of lore cinematic we have, which is absolutely super interesting and means untold things for the future of the game and the story. Why we're in this school where the Tenno and the Sentients are working together to train to become stronger and more powerful, because the Tenno and Sentients are working together directly in this school. There's also Grineer present in the school, showing that it wasn't just Tenno and Sentients that made it to the Tau system. Beyond that, there's Grineer there. There's probably Orokin somewhere around, and obviously there's Sentients in the school. There's all kinds of interesting things going on. It's a whole huge dynamic, and it looks like an Orokin school. It looks like it's Orokin architecture, Orokin everything. The Orokin not only beat back the Sentients in the old war, but apparently retook control over them and now still lead the Sentients to a certain extent, with Ballas being, of course, serving as like kind of a presidential thing going on. It's very strange. During this, while they're in the school, Caliban Prime was actually teased, which makes sense because he's a collaboration between the Orokin and the Sentients to create a sentient Warframe. So that's actually pretty cool. Caliban Prime will be next. I'll show a little clip of that here. But beyond that, while they're at this school, they're like taking some dumb tests. I really don't care about that. But it just shows how closely working together the Tenno and Sentients are, how close their relationship is after the old war. So even after the Tenno, obviously slaughtered them and destroyed them, and were basically the perfect weapon to absolutely destroy the Sentients, they actually ended up getting along quite well, which is very interesting to see. After all of that happened, in this trailer, a Grineer squadron came under attack, and the Grineer are obviously part of the Orokin Empire, so the Tenno and the Sentients moved out to help assist the Grineer squadron that was under attack. Get this, very interesting, from Dax soldiers. So this is very confusing to me, because the Dax are like the #1 most important soldier of the Orokin for a very long time, and even in the age of like current Warframe in the current Origin system, you have someone like Teshin, who was forced to listen to the twin queens simply because they had Orokin blood in them. So to see a huge mass of Dax soldiers fighting against an Orokin military, now there was no Orokins present, which might mean something. Maybe the Dax still can't confront the Orokin directly, but since there was no Orokins present on this Tau moon, they were able to attack this station, and they were killing Grineer, they were killing Sentients, and they were trying to kill Tenno as well. So this is very interesting to see the Dax kind of being the first ones to continue the betrayal of the Orokin Empire. Because remember, after the Orokins defeated the Sentients, their empire lasted for quite a while afterwards. But eventually, it had its own downfall because the Grineer wanted independence, the Ballas betrayed the Orokin, the Tenno, more importantly, betrayed the Orokin, and all of these different things happened that came to let the Orokin Empire fall. But it's interesting to see that maybe the Dax were the original first piece that started this rebellion that sort of ended the Orokin Empire. I'm just throwing spitballs here. There's a Dax commander there. It's some woman. We don't know any information about her from what I can tell, but obviously she hates the Orokin. While they're fighting, they eventually come upon a sentient that has been taken control of by these Dax forces. And the sentients, who are generally on the side of the Orokin now, they have to fight this other sentient that seems to be controlled by the Dax. They say that they overrode their system or something. So it's very interesting. This actually introduces a weakness I've never thought about or really talked about before when it comes to sentients, and that's the fact that it appears they can actually be taken control of. I'm not sure if they were infected with infestation to make them aggressive. I'm not sure if there was some sort of weird control rod put in them to make them do what these Dax soldiers wanted. I'm not sure, but the sentient attacked the Tenno and their friend Sentient. It's just insane. I don't know what this means, but it also shows maybe why the Orokin still fell after reallying with the Sentients. Maybe Ballas or someone like that did some weird shit where they retook control like the Sentients aggressively and made them hate the Orokin again. Maybe that's what happened the first time. I'm not sure. This could actually explain, I'm sorry I'm rambling here, but this is just my thoughts off the dome right after it happened. But perhaps this is why the Sentients in the New War are so loyal to Narmir, not because they truly trust in Ballas and believe in Ballas, but because Ballas somehow overrode them and made them aggressive, like we see in this clip from the new piece. Perhaps that is why they're so loyal to Ballas in the New War, because it doesn't make sense why the Sentients would be so loyal to Ballas's Narmir, and they literally only betrayed Narmir, or Ballas in particular, when he was ready to sacrifice the Origin system to travel to the Tau system and possibly destroy it as well. Very insane stuff. So maybe that's why the Sentients were so loyal to Ballas, is because we're seeing some form of control they have currently. I don't know for sure. I'm just spitballing here, guys. I'm sorry if I sound crazy. There's so much interesting lore going on here. I have so much things to talk about, so many videos to make. But this is just my initial recap of the lore drop from the new piece trailer. Let me know what you guys think of everything you've seen before, what this means. Are there still Grineer that are present in the Tau system that are friendly or that are less insane than the Sentients? In 2026, Rebecca said that we're going to be going to the current Tau system, present day Tau system. So we're going to be able to see current present day Tau system in 2026. And at the end of the year, we're going to see Lois's memories of the Tau system. There's so much interesting things happening. I'm really excited for this update. As you guys know, I was not a big fan of the Warframe 1999 update. I thought it was a little bit childish. I thought it was a little bit goofy. I didn't like how grown adults acted like 13-year-olds on Twitter. But this update looks absolutely cracked. The exploring Tau is fucking amazing. I'm super excited for it. The lore drops are going to be insane, and I'm super excited to start making content about it, because you guys know I love talking about the New War and stuff like that. New War is actually my favorite quest line. I think it's most people's favorite quest line in the Warframe. So learning more lore about the old war, which led up to it, is super interesting to me. So yeah, the new piece coming late 2025, and then early 2026, we get to see the present day Tau. that's all I have for this video. I know I rambled a lot, but I just wanted to discuss a quick checkpoint of things that happened. What really spoke to me, was really interesting to me. I wanted to place this event, like timeline it. Now, obviously, a timeline is post the Old War, directly rightly after the Old War, maybe like 50 years after the Old War. And yeah, showing Sentients and Orokin working together, which is insane. And seemingly Ballas had control over the Sentients even after the Old War, which once again leads credence to Ballas leading them in the New War, which is also insane to think about here. So maybe the reason Era was so willing just to listen to Ballas, it wasn't because Ballas was controlling them, but because they've always listened to Ballas. Because Ballas is the fucking man, and learning any more lore about him is just always so exciting and awesome, because Ballas is one of the greatest villains in gaming history. But yeah, that's all I have. Sorry for the ramble here. I know this isn't my normal well-scripted video. It's just I want to get this video out tonight to talk about what we saw in the new Peace trailer, and it's pretty insane. But stay blessed, guys. Stay happy. I'm going to be making videos about this, more in depth about particular things happening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What's going to be next? And yeah, also we got a new Warframe. Dude, fuck me, bro. I know I talked about Prime Caliban. I forgot what the new Warframe even was. Here's a clip of the new Warframe they dropped. I didn't even care about that shit. You guys don't understand. I am purely in love with the lore. I'm so obsessed with the lore of this game. I love it for the most part. And this looks like it's going to be amazing, but they dropped like a new Warframe. It's like, it seems kind of culty, actually. Some weird cult shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. It looks pretty cool. The design's pretty sweet though, actually. The design is amazing, but I'll show a clip of it here. It has a really hard name to say, so I'm actually not going to say it here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Stay blessed. See you in the next one, I hope. And let's go to Tau, baby. It looks like it's going to be pretty fucking awesome.